Did you hear that? Can you hear it? Someone asked me the other day what the bird noise was in the background of my video, and they asked if it was kookaburras. That wasn't kookaburras, but what you just heard was 4 kookaburras sitting on top of the cross on top of the church next to me. So that's what they sound like. That's kookaburras. One's flown away, but there's still 3 there. They might go again. But anyway, we're revisiting my little sample stitch book. Sorry, I've had a break on this one because I've been doing other things, but we're going to come back to this. And right now I'm going to show you how I join my pages together. All right, so here we are with a couple of other pages I need to stitch through. They stitch together. These pages are ready. So you do have some different options for how you want to stitch your pages together. You could do a running stitch the whole way around in a visible cotton, for example, a perlé cotton or a stranded cotton. You could do blanket stitch around the outside. I'm not super keen on blanket stitch, so I won't do that one. You could do a little whip stitch with a visible thread or a thread that's going to blend in a bit more like this one. You could do some cantha stitching here and there through both sides. Now, I don't want the stitching to be too visible at the moment, so I'm just going to do a little whip stitch, and then later on I might decide I want to fold some fabric bits over the edge, whatever I want. So I've threaded my little cotton up in between. I've sandwiched it in between, and I'm literally, and put all that bit in, I'm going to just do some little stitches, some little tiny, if I don't want to do it long. Okay, so it is going to go onto both sides. You're not really going to see it too much in this white thread. It will blend in. I'm having to come in a little bit because this side is, the fabric is just a little bit shorter. I might even just do a little running stitch. So you can hear the church next door. It's Sunday morning. I'm just going to make sure that you're capturing it so it's held in place. And sometimes where I've got multiple layers of fabric, for example, under that Suffolk puff, you don't have to stitch on top of it. You could kind of go in between. Same with the little bit of fabric tape measure. You can see a couple stitches, but it's not a big deal. Okay, as long as you are getting a bit of fabric from both pages. Can take pin out as I go because that won't go anywhere now. Okay, so I'll just keep going, capturing a bit of fabric on both sides with this little running stitch that I'm doing. Now there's only one layer of fabric on that side, so I'll just keep going with little tiny running stitches. And eventually when we're adding our pages into our book, there'll be some stitching down the middle there. Now these pages are only little. If I have big pages, I might like to do a few random stitches in the middle here so that the pages don't like pucker and lift up. But this is a little book, so it's going to be fine. It's just a small space. Certainly if I had a bigger book, I might add some more stitches in. And often because of the slow stitching that you've done on the other side, you can barely even notice these little stitches. Like, yeah, there's a row of stitches there, but you can't notice much. So this is adding stitching pages together. Not adding, stitching pages together, looking at what your options are. What I can also do, which I haven't done yet, I might do it over here. I can take that out now. Is you can put tabs on. So for example, where's my little scrap bowl? Over here, there's some scraps. Just get a little piece that I like. I do like that fabric. It's feed sack fabric. What I might do, I could add a tab. I could stitch it on over the outside like that, but I don't want to cover up that little logo. Or I can fold it in half and I can sandwich it in between. Get a little tab sticking out. That's quite cute. Or, so that I don't lose all of the lovely image there, I could sandwich the back side in between so I don't cover up my little embroidery thing there, and I could bring it onto the front on this side. Okay, so like that. I think I quite like it sandwiched in between. I might keep that bit out and do that in a sec. And then all you do is you just keep stitching in the exact same way, but you're stitching through the tab as well to hold it in place. I've actually already stitched the top together before I went on camera, so I don't need to do that. Okay, now let's have a look at our tab. Get a little pin. Pin it in place. And then I'll keep stitching. Definitely feel that I've got some layers of fabric on that side. Okay, I don't want to go under that, don't want stitches all over that. That's secure. Take the pin out. Yep, that's good. And I'll just run it along the top here. I'm going to show you how I finish off. I'll just finish off this thread. May as well use it all because it's only a small bit. See, so it doesn't take too long to attach your pages. You want to make sure that you've fully finished embellishing them before attaching them, because otherwise it's hard to keep your stitching just on one side. Like, you'll probably go through the other side. It might not look good. All right, so I will have, I do have more videos. Well, I will have more videos on this little book coming up. I'll plan to finish this in the next week or so. And then we can go on to the next project. I've got an idea for the next one. All right, so my thread's getting short. What I'll do is I'll just run it in between the fabrics. I can even just like separate them a bit. There's some little threads there that I can use. I'm just going to hook it in a few times. You can take it through the loop if you want to create like a knot. And then just snip it. Now, your other option with your page is to, like, this bottom part here is not that interesting. What I could do, go back to some of my little scrap fabrics. Let's find something like that's cute. Might be a bit small, but, you know, I could stitch a bit on, add some more embellishments. I could get a bigger bit. This one's might be too big. I'd cut it down a bit, but I might bend it over, stitch it down. I probably would make that one thinner if I'd go. Okay, so that edge there is a bit boring. We can see a bit of the linen, and so I might just tuck that over and stitch that. Etc. So you can play around with your edges. You can add extra bits. I might do that later. So there is my little page ready to be put into my book with an extra tab there. Okay, so eventually all your pages need to be stitched together. And this is the same concept for how you'd make a fabric book, a larger one. If you were wanting to add pages together, I'd decorate the page first and then put them together and stitch them down. And my little book's coming along nicely. So into the cover, that's going to be my first page. Okay, all my pages are going to stick out a little bit. And then I just have my wrap around. Cute. It's going to be a cute little book. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed seeing how you can stitch pages together. And I will be coming back. What do I need to do? Let's just recap. I'm going to do thread painting on here, so that one will be coming. I am going to, have I got my labels here? These are my other pages. What are my other stitches? I've got them. I've got my labels printed somewhere. I'm just going to have to find them. So I will have 2 more sets of pages on here, this page and this page. So there'll be 4 double-sided pages into the book cover. I was just seeing if I've got these were all the bits that I was using. I know I've stamped out. I've shown you already. Oh, there we go. Couching. There's one. It's all a bit of a mess, really. Oh, here we go. Turkey work was that one. So they are to come. Any other labels in here? It's all just gone into a scrap. Oh, I know I've got more than that. I'll have to find them. They're mixed in here somewhere or they're on my desk. All right, so more to come. Thank you for watching this one, and we'll be back with another one really soon. Bye for now.